everybody. I know you haven't seen me in a while. I'm not home cooking right now, and I don't know if I'll go back to it, but I'm using a good quality freeze-dried raw for my 10-month-old now cute puppy. But what I wanted to talk to you today about was if you have to do kibble, what to look for in buying a good kibble, okay? Because not everybody can, home cook. Not everybody can or wants to feed raw. I don't want to feed raw. I think that is just I have my own issues with that. But I do feed freeze-dried raw. It's a little pricey, but I want to do that because I want to try to get the best for my puppy. But not everybody could do this. So let's talk about, in general, what to look for in a kibble. And let me tell you how I got started with this. My daughter moved this past weekend. I went down to her place a few weeks ago and I got some stuff. She had some Dr. Harvey's dehydrated food that she hadn't even opened because she's changed now her dog food. And I posted it on my Facebook by nothing if somebody wanted it for free. And somebody said, my dog has allergies. Would this be a good dog food for my retriever? So I said, well, what are you feeding your dog? And he told me this name. I had never heard of it. And I know most dog foods. It was called Retriever All Stage Mini Chunks Chicken. And I was like, I've never heard of that. Where do you buy it? And he says it's the brand dog food for Tractor Supply store. Well, I'm a city gal and I never even heard of Tractor Supply until I moved down here at the lake 3 years ago. So I went online and I looked at it and I was like, whoa, no wonder his dog is so itchy. And I started thinking, let's talk about let's be smart and talk about what to look for in a dog food, what you want and what you don't want. So when you look at the ingredients for a dog food, there's the first ingredient and there's the last. Sometimes it's very long. You don't want that. Anyway, the first ingredient should be a protein. The first ingredient should be an animal protein. It should be a named animal protein, like beef, chicken, fish, turkey, rabbit, emu, whatever, okay? And then the second or third ingredient should be an animal organ, like liver, kidney, heart, spleen. Those are the musts that you must see in the first 5 ingredients. And then you want to see a vegetable. Now you don't want to see like peas, and then later on in the list there's pea protein and then pea powder, because that's called ingredient splitting, where they can put in different forms the same food. And if you add all those up, the volume of it, it's actually more than the first ingredient, which is supposed to be the animal protein. So you want to see something like a spinach or a kale or Brussels or something like that. All right, I was going to say something else and my mind just went off. So I'm just going to keep on going. All right. So let's talk about what you don't want to see. And that's everything was in this dog food. And that's why I decided to do this recipe. Review. My mind is going. So looking at this, the first ingredient, people, was ground yellow corn. If you look at the ingredients and the first ingredient or the last ingredient is corn, drop it. Don't give that to your dog. Corn not only is not species appropriate, but it can contain aflatoxins, which is mold. How does corn have mold? I don't even eat corn anymore. And the dogs, can't digest it. How does it get mold? The farmers put the corn in a big silo and it rains water gets in that silo. And what does water do when there's no circulation and all that? It grows mold. And that's why the dog is getting itchy. Plus, it's not species appropriate. Now, the second ingredient in this food, I just had a laugh. This is like the worst dog food. For 50 pounds, it's $28. It should tell you right there it's not a good dog food. The second ingredient is meat. It doesn't say what type of meat. There's a picture of a chicken on the, oh my dog is messing up me. He wants to come with me or something. There's a chicken on the front of the dog food, but it just says meat. Hold on, I'm gonna try to get my dog. Well, he's gonna be playing. That, you don't want that, okay? Because it could be, then it has, hold on a second, he's distracting me here. Oh, I got him! Because it also has, it could be just like, how do I say this? It's not a chicken as we know it, okay? It's the rendered food. It's the leftovers when they take all the meat off. It could be feathers, it could be necks, it could be feet, but it's not the actual meat of the chicken. You want it to say what it is. If it just says meat, you don't get it. You don't get it. Okay, and then it has soybean meal. You don't want soybean in your dog food. You don't want that in your food. Soybeans are highly sprayed with glyphosate, which is a drying agent, so the farmers can get their money quicker by getting their crops out. Glyphosate by Monsanto, it's in Roundup, has caused lymphoma in humans, okay? Monsanto has been sued. How many dogs do you know that have lymphoma? It's like an epidemic. Why do they have lymphoma, okay? All right, let's see here. So that was the 5 ingredients. I'm gonna go on just a little bit more. It says, the 6th ingredient says natural chicken flavor. It doesn't say chicken, okay? It adds the word flavor and natural. Where's the chicken in this? There's no chicken. That is all made of chemicals. They can put 200 chemicals into natural flavoring, okay? And it's okay with the FDA. And then it has the poultry byproduct, which is after they take all the meat off, you know, and there's like, again, the organs and the feet and the feathers and all that. All right, so moving on a little bit, I was shocked to see this. It has food dyes. It has yellow number 5, blue number 2, and red number 40. Why the F? And I really mean that. Is food dyes in dog food and also in human food. First of all, why do we have to make the food look pretty for a dog? The dog doesn't even see those colors, all right? But food dyes are horrible and they cause cancer and other illnesses. That's another red flag, all right? And then something to teach you, the next ingredient is salt. According to AFCO, which is made up of CEOs from Purina and Hill Science Diet, they have certain rules to make dog food. And salt, any ingredient after salt is only at 1%, all right? So you can see that everything after that is at 1%, and they're all vitamins, and they're synthetic vitamins that are made in China. So I hope I have taught you something. You want to look at your ingredients. The first 5 ingredients, there needs to be an animal protein, a named animal protein, you know, a turkey or fish or beef, we talked about that. You need to have organs, one of the organs, a liver or a heart or a spleen or a kidney. You need to have a vegetable, but you don't want to have vegetable splitting. And you also don't want to have, this has rice in it too. This is so cheap. All this cheap stuff to make this cheap. You don't want to have rice, it's not species appropriate. And you don't want to have sweet potato, white potato, because, and like butternut squash, whatever. Too many starches. What's wrong? You want to have one, and the preference would be butternut squash. Why don't you want to have those 3 potatoes combined? Can you think? What are they? They're carbs. Dogs don't need carbs, okay? What do carbs do? They turn to sugar. What does sugar do to the body? Well, you can gain weight from it. I try to keep off of sugar. But also, too much sugar causes diabetes. How many dogs do you know that have diabetes? I was like, I didn't even know dogs had diabetes a while back. It's crazy. Why are they getting diabetes? Because the food is not only laced, you know, with sugar, but it has all these cheap ingredients. So look, if you have to do kibble, I get it. You know, not everybody wants to home cook. I don't want to home cook anymore. And not everybody wants to feed a raw diet. I definitely don't want to feed raw meat. I am feeding freeze-dried raw by Steve's. Let me know. I can give you a link for a 30% savings. I endorse them, and I do, you know, get a little bit of money from them. That's not what this video is about. But there are kibbles out there that you can feed your dog. And if you do feed kibble, please add some liquid, as in maybe water or bone broth, or you could do some goat's milk. I don't do goat's milk. And I don't think you should do fermented goat's milk. That can cause itching. But don't just do dry kibble, okay? Because there's so many dogs that have kidney disease, and so many dogs who have bladder infections and UTIs. Why is that? Well, think about it. And I really need to be more proactive because they're not getting enough liquid. I need to drink more liquid, okay? You don't do just a dry food. Add some liquid, and you could add some toppers. What's a good topper? That should be another video. I'll do that for another video. Good toppers for kibble. Anyway, you got to see Misha. He is 10 months old, and I've had some struggles with him. I almost got rid of him because I forgot how hard it is to have a puppy. But he's fantastic. Yeah, he's my baby. Anyways, great talking to you guys.